Okay, here we go. So I am going to skip the land acknowledgement because I did it already, and I'm going to talk about boosting morale and collegiality through the Asian Films Discussion Group of UBC. This is an internal program for the staff of the Asian Library, which is a little branch library within the larger UBC library system. The background for this is, of course, COVID, the pandemic. UBC campus closed in March of 2020, and that created some very different challenges for different staff in the library, where the librarians had to pivot completely to moving remote. We were all working online. And then there was the circulation staff who not only had to work within the closed library, trying to prepare curbside delivery and returns, but they also had their own personal safety issues with the new processes. Like there was a time when no one was really sure how long COVID stayed on books and things like that, if you recall. So there were new work processes, new workflows. There were the social distancing issues. Everyone was kind of isolated and stressed out. And how do we solve this within a library that was a small branch library? Everyone was pretty close. And so what have we got to solve this problem? We have the Asian library folks. We had an acting head at the time, 3 staff members, the circulation folks. We have 4 area librarians, CJK, and then Southeast Asian and Indic, and 4 GAAs who are hired by the year. The assets are that we have a pre-existing collegiality. Again, we're close. We had the new Zoom technology that everyone was provided for this remote online work, and therefore we had headsets and webcams, and we of course have our collection. So the Asian Film Discussion Group was born out of our having weekly all-staff Zoom check-ins, which is something that we did to keep each other updated on what was happening both in the library and offsite, the work that everyone was doing so that we could be in closer communication with one another. And because those were mainly work focused, we decided that we're very happy to see each other once a week. Why don't we make a little extra time where we can talk about something that is completely not work, but also supports work in a slightly more relaxed and fun way. And here are the rules, our very long list of rules. We are going to be completely informal. It's a focus on keeping people happy. There's absolutely no pressure either to attend, to watch the film if it wasn't to your taste, to speak up. There were no set discussion questions. We were focusing on happy or thoughtful films mainly, things that have fun memories attached. We tried to meet once every month or so, but it ended up in the end averaging something like 5 or 6 weeks, and 5 to 6 attendees out of 8 or 9 people at a time. Not bad. We started out having 30-minute discussions, and then they eventually grew to about an hour. And some of the topics that came up were very interesting, like political history, translation, religion, government policies, cultural transmission, and so on and so forth. So here's a summary list of some of the films that we watched. Lucky, that's Korea, India, China, Japan again. That's Hong Kong, Korea, and then Japanese movies again. That's because all of us liked this director actually. So the benefits of this program is that, of course, we did have some relaxed conversation on Asian culture and history. It's amazing how if you have a movie that you watched all together, that you can bring out elements of it that maybe don't cross the cultural borders really easily, but you can, by asking a person from that culture, really gain a lot. It doubled again as a less formal check-in time. There was more time to talk. There was some informal learning on library resources going on, such as Canopy or Criterion on Demand, the library's streaming sources. And of course, we all got to practice our Zoom skills in a safer environment than in an official staff meeting. Then we learned the collection, the research involved with finding films to recommend. We took turns recommending movies that were created by Asians and from Asia. That was a bit of development for us as well. And then possibly we could make some exhibits later on. We're thinking about that. With return to campus, it may no longer be as necessary or as easy for us to meet, especially for the library front desk staff, because it has to be staffed continuously. And also the team is no longer as isolated, so maybe we're not as hungry for seeing each other. This means that the group may transition to something physical or morph into something else entirely. I've gotten some nice ideas from Sharon's previous presentation. That's great. but we look forward to continuing this in some form as a way to cumulatively increase our inter-area staff expertise. Thank you.